Extraordinary Sanskrit poets like Kavya Kantha Ganapati Muni, Jagadisha Shastri, Kapali Shastri, and Daivarata were devotees of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. So was Muruganar, arguably one of the greatest Tamil poets of the last millennium. There was another equally great poet and scholar who became a devotee of Bhagavan. He was great not because he was famous, but because he completely renounced recognition for himself. So self-effacing was he that he wrote Mahayoga, a masterly treatise on Bhagavan's self-enquiry under the pseudonym Who. Only in the more recent editions of Mahayoga do we find his name, Lakshmana Sarma. A lawyer and a naturopath by profession, Lakshmana Sarma came to the ashram in 1928. One look from Bhagavan was enough to mesmerize him. One day, Bhagavan asked him, "Have you read Ulladu Narpadu?" Ulladu Narpadu consists of 40 verses composed by Bhagavan in classical Tamil. The work embodies Bhagavan's teachings on reality and the path to abide in it. Lakshmana Sharma replied that he hadn't read the work, adding, "I do not know classical Tamil." Being an ardent and astute seeker, he was quick enough to suggest, "If Bhagavan teaches me, I will learn it." Truly has it been said that if we take one step towards God, he takes 99 steps towards us. Lakshmana Sharma's response made it evident that he was making the effort and taking the first step. Therefore, the master gave him private lessons in classical Tamil. Bhagavan explained to Lakshmana Sarma the nuances of the Tamil language, and he absorbed the teaching almost effortlessly. Soon, Bhagavan started explaining Ulladu Narpadu and its supplement Ulladu Narpadu Anubandham. The relationship between the Guru and the disciple is extraordinary because the Satguru does not actually pass on information that the disciple does not know. What he does is make the disciple aware that he is the truth, and this is what Ulladu Narpadu reveals. Bhagavan was as compassionate as ever, and the daily sessions with Lakshmana Sarma were long and in-depth. Later on, when the book was published, Lakshmana Sarma never intended for it to be a book. He described the sessions that he had with Bhagavan and how he worked on what Bhagavan taught him. During this time, Lakshmana Sarma lived in a hut in Palakuttu. Since he was a Sanskrit scholar, when he returned to his hut at night, he would compile all the knowledge that he had gathered into a verse in Sanskrit. He would show the verse to Bhagavan the next day, and Bhagavan would read it and correct it. Occasionally, Bhagavan would respond with a look of dissatisfaction, and then Lakshmana Sarma would rework that verse. Bhagavan never believed in criticizing anyone or pointing out their mistakes, but close devotees could read the expression in his eyes or on his face. This rigorous routine continued not for a few days or a few months, but for 3 years. In today's age of computers, we want everything, including truth, to be explained with the click of a mouse. But look at the enormous toil of Lakshmana Sharma in his attempt to unfold the truth. To quote Lakshmana Sarma, "Bhagavan began to teach me. I needed to proceed slowly, going from one verse to another. I had to make sure that I understood what Bhagavan had taught me. So I composed verses in Sanskrit that embodied the meaning that he had imparted. Before proceeding to the next verse, I would submit the verse to Bhagavan to make sure that I had faithfully translated what he had said. If I didn't get quite the approval I wanted, I would work on the verse again and again until he was satisfied. This is how I studied all the verses and translated them into Sanskrit. I was unable to stop with the first translation because Ulladu Narpadu had taken complete possession of me, and I felt compelled to keep on revising the Sanskrit verses. After translating the first 40 verses, I went back and reworked them. It seemed to me that no amount of time and labor would be too much for achieving the end I had in mind. The Sanskrit text was given the title Sadarshanam, the vision of reality. Lakshmana Sarma put in such relentless work that Bhagavan, who rarely commented on people, observed, "For Lakshmana Sarma, it is tapas." He revised the work again and again and lived by it. The almost perfect and flawless rendering into Sanskrit was what Lakshmana Sarma strove for and achieved. Around the time when Lakshmana Sarma had almost completed the Sanskrit verses, Kapali Shastri was also in the ashram. When he was asked to read the verses, he remarked, "I will send it to my master, Kavya Kantha Ganapati Muni. He will go through the Sanskrit and suggest changes if necessary." The work was sent to Kavya Kantha, who was in Sirsi at that time. Kavya Kantha was struck by the profundity of the subject matter in the 40 verses. Being an extempore poet without parallel, he composed verses afresh instead of editing what had been written. Some of his admirers had these new verses printed as a book titled Sadarshanam and sent it to Kapali Shastri, who then wrote a commentary on it. This happened sometime around 1930. Though Bhagavan appreciated the poetic quality of Kavya Kantha's verses, Lakshmana Sarma found that the translation was not accurate. He went to Bhagavan and said, "Bhagavan, the translation has deviated from the original in many places." Having worked for 3 long years on the content both in Tamil and Sanskrit, he was very convinced of what he was saying. Bhagavan's attitude always was that it was better to state the correct facts than point out mistakes in something or someone. He told Lakshmana Sarma, "If you feel you can expound the teaching more faithfully, why not write your own commentary?" This encouraged Lakshmana Sarma to write the commentary based on the elaborate notes he had taken down while listening to Bhagavan. A magazine wanted to publish the commentary as a series. Every time the magazine came, Bhagavan would cut out the pages of the commentary and with keen interest paste these pages on a sheet of brown paper and preserve it. Once the entire commentary had been published, he himself stitched these pages into a book. When the devotees noticed Bhagavan's great interest in the commentary, they decided to get it printed. However, for some reason, the ashram was unable to print the commentary, so Lakshmana Sarma himself brought out a private edition of the book called Ulladu Narpadu Urai, not for personal reasons, but because of Bhagavan's interest. Soon after the commentary was published, an interesting incident took place. One day, Bhagavan's brother Chinnaswamy, the manager of the ashram, was busy in the ashram office with some clerical work. He was so absorbed in it that he did not observe Bhagavan patiently waiting to get his attention from behind a window. Bhagavan could have very well called out to him, but he would never do that. After 15 minutes, someone else noticed Bhagavan and told Chinnaswamy, "Bhagavan is waiting for you behind your window." Bhagavan then said, "Pichai," which was the way Bhagavan addressed his brother. Everyone acclaims Lakshmana Sarma's commentary on Ulladu Narpadu, the best so far. Nobody has studied the text the way Lakshmana Sarma has. I think it would be fitting for the ashram to publish the work. Chinnaswamy took the hint and the ashram published it immediately. Chinnaswamy himself studied the work and recommended it to everyone, saying, "Please read Ulladu Narpadu Urai. It is a true reflection of Bhagavan's teaching." Ulladu Narpadu Urai was acclaimed the best publication of the year. Even today, it is considered a great Tamil edition.